Chaos is necessary and unavoidable. It is the absolute truth of all existence. And at this terminal end of chaos, we realize it is just the beginning. And, quote, as the observer, we rest in reverence, acceptance, and absolute stillness as we witness the unfolding of madness, the madness of chaos, our eternal home. My theory is that it is possible for the mechanisms of the plasmic cosmology and electrochemical universe that the universe serves as a basis for all of its creation and biological life and biochemical processes, and likely interlinked with the holographic universe and fractal regenerative systems by LQ. The snake is arising in the year of 2025 and bringing with it chaos. Chaos, it seems, is the alchemical gift which turns the wheels of existence and without which there would be nothing. Unfortunately, many fear chaos because they simply do not understand her soul pattern. In the mind of a seeker, once the complexity of ideas approaches the singularity, even that which seems complicated is shown to be simple, and the quest ends as we discern the immortal light source, the Anthropos, within us. The quote, life is always unsafe and unstable, like a drop of water on a lotus leaf, is from the book The Holy Science by Swami Sri Yukteswar and is often attributed to teachings of his guru. Love rules the court, the camp, the grove, and men below, and saints above. For love is heaven, and heaven is love. This is attributed to Sir Walter Scott. And Lilith, who is Kali or Kalima. There is no harm in being afraid. The only harm is in doing what fear tells you. Fear is not your master. Laugh in his face, and he will run away. Okay? Lilith also spoke and said, we are equal to each other insomuch as we are both created from the earth, but they will not listen to one another. In the Gnostic myth of Pistos Sophia, the descent into chaos is a symbolic representation of the human soul as its entrance into the cycle of incarnation. Pistos Sophia, who is a being of material eons, is tricked into leaving her eon and descended into chaos. She's enticed down by the archons of the 7th and 8th eon, who torment her in an attempt to make her lose her light, or her light nature. So there are themes in this of repentance, as Pistos Sophia recites many meditations and prayers for repentance to the upper light of herself. There's redemption, as a Christ figure is said to send light power to lead Sophia out of darkness. The light is the Christ within. And this allowed her to wait just outside of the 13th eon until she was fully restored. And then her return home. Once her earthly work of redemption is complete, Pistos Sophia returned to her original home in the celestial stars. So with these themes of temptation, betrayal, suffering, self-forgiveness, self-redemption, and the return of the inner Christ, Pistos Sophia and even Lilith, who never loses their light, is an allegory which sheds some light on the purposes of chaos. And so again, chaos is the alchemical gift which turns the wheels of existence, and without which there would be nothing. Unfortunately, though, we fear chaos because we've been taught to, and because we simply haven't understood the pattern. In the mind of a seeker, once the complexity of these ideas approaches a singularity within us, even that which seems so complicated becomes very simple, and our quest ends, and we return to the light within. The cosmic serpent symbolizes creation and sexual expression, the primal energy that drives the cycle of life. In an electromagnetic cosmology, we see the serpent as the brightest light, zigzagging across the night sky and in the pictures of space. Intuitively or from study, the learned may connect that the original or projected snake is the intermingled Alpha and the Omega, the Ida and the Pingala, as they spiral all things into existence. And when these two serpents intertwine, they resemble the double helix of the DNA, the fundamental blueprint of all living beings, the daughters and sons of the cosmic energies representing the physical manifestation of creative force inherent in all sexual expression. Due to our long slumber, chaos has manifested in our minds as something to fear and is represented as darkness, malignant serpent gods, the Apophis, symbol of chaos and forces of darkness, and others of such same origins. This is more than likely because of the celestial movements, astronomical changes, which is felt in the below just as the above. We can expect to see massive events in chaotic times, such as quakes and storms, fogs, plagues, volcanic eruptions, etc. Some of us may feel these earth changes within our own bodies, but some people may feel that this is strictly due to weather changes or just the cycles of the earth. But others of us know it is also a reflection from the returned presence of the ancient gods. These ancient ancestors also revere the snake symbolism of renewal, wisdom, and strength. The duality of our inherited sense of the snake can guide us to more cosmic truths. There's a balance in nature, as above and below, which each epoch of humanity reconciles during the end of an era. Here is a list of various serpent gods from ancient cultures, along with their divine counterparts, alignments, attributes, and associated cycles of time. There's Quetzalcoatl, Aztec, divine counterpart, and I'm going to mess that name up, Tezcatlipoca. Alignment, agriculture, wind, and learning. Positive and negative attributes are creative god, associated with fertility and knowledge, while the negatives are sometimes linked to destruction and chaos. Cycles of time is associated with the 52-year cycle of the Aztec calendar. Number 2 is Kukulkan of the Mayans. Divine counterpart was Amna. Alignment is weather, rain, and agriculture. Positive attributes, bringer of rain and prosperity. Negatives can bring storms and floods. Cycles of time is linked to the solar year and agricultural cycles. Apep, Egyptian. Divine counterpart is Ra. Alignment of chaos and darkness. Positive attributes, none. Primarily a force of chaos. Negative attributes, representative of evil and destruction. Cycles of time, association with the daily cycle of the sun's journey. The Naga, Hindu Buddhism. The divine counterpart was Vishnu, Hindu, Buddha, Buddhist. Alignment is water, fertility, and protection. Positive attributes, protectors of springs and rivers, bringers of rain. Negative attributes can cause droughts or floods if angered. Cycles of time linked to monsoon cycles and seasonal change. There's also the Norse god, and divine counterpart is Thor. Alignment, sea and chaos. Positive and negatives are representative of cyclical nature of the world and bringer of the Ragnarok, the end of the world. Cycles of time associated with the cyclical nature of the Norse mythology. And the last one here is Python of Greece. Divine counterpart is Apollo. Alignment is earth and prophecy. Positive and negatives. Guardian of the Delphic oracle as a positive, but represents primal chaos and darkness as a negative. Cycles of time are linked to the oracular cycles and seasonal festivals. Beauty, terrible beauty, a deathless goddess, so she strikes our eyes. By Homer of the Iliad. Most key to our discussion of chaos is the goddess Kali. So let's explore some attributes of the goddess Kali and the concept of the Kali Yuga, along with their apocalyptic messaging. Kali, a Hindu god, And the counterpart is Shiva, alignment with time, change, power, destruction, representative of empowerment, transformation, and destruction of evil forces. She's also often seen as a fierce protector and symbol of liberation. Negative qualities are her fearsome appearance and association with destruction, which can evoke fear. She is often depicted in battle, symbolizing the end of negative cycles. Cycles of time such as Kali is representative in is associated with the cyclical nature of time and destruction, rebirth, and renewal. So the Kali Yuga is the last of the 4 stages of the world, which goes through as a part of the cycle of the yugas described in Hindu scriptures. It's associated with moral decline and chaos. Positive attributes. Despite its challenges, Kali Yuga is believed to be a time when spiritual growth can occur rapidly due to the prevalence of challenges and potential for transformation. The negative attributes, it's associated with decay, strife, and deterioration of dharma or moral order. It is often seen as a period of darkness and ignorance. The apocalyptic message, then, of the Kali Yuga is often linked to apocalyptic themes, as it is believed to precede the eventual destruction and renewal of the world, leading to the next cycle, the Sat Yuga, a time of truth and righteousness. In Hindu cosmology, the concept of Kali Yuga serves as a reminder of the cyclical nature and inevitable being called chaos, the inevitability of change and effective chaos, while the goddess Kali embodies the transformative power necessary to overcome darkness and initiate renewal. These serpent deities as a whole can inform us how to move along with our own specific planetary conjunctions. These serpent deities often embody dual aspects of creation and destruction, reflecting the balance of nature and the cycles of time in their respective cultures. So what's happened then? What has happened to our understanding of these changes? There has been a great hiding away or loss of access to these hidden gems and wisdom, which is freely available on many archived, documented websites. However, many people are busy working, don't have time, can't spend enough moments to read and contemplate, or are caught in cognitive dissonance. So what's here now is a distortion, a distorted energy. The black and black magic is the as below distortion of the planetary sexogenesis, such that the mother and father births a son, a planet. The below versions exist in all lower life, using sigils, tokens, squares, music, mantra, mudra, sex, and etc. These tripartite gods and lesser god men and priest kings and presidents or whoever have marked and bled the people in sacred spaces to pull down certain energies for power. This was done first by the ancients, Sudanese, then the czars, and to all nations, but guided by one Demiurge. Harnessing the power of a star by evoking and chanting using the male and female principle and other magic, sounds, vibes, smoke, fire, dance, etc. is used by some wisdom keepers and some gatekeepers to bring specific entities and birth new matrices for those of us who just don't know. Utilizing Hadron Collider and other methods to open portals, what is coming is primed by our own collective chaos. So the balance must again rise into a new golden age. Those who have known the secrets but have not shared them have their own karmic pattern to respond to. They have to deal with what they've done. And we, the ascendancy of ancient times, such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and other great cities, our debts have been paid in full this lifetime. We never wish anyone's decay. So we keep love in our hearts and minds and souls for them. In another time, I will discuss the scientific details of the cosmic laws in which the 4 states of matter are solid, liquid, gas, and plasma in relationship with the laws of thermodynamics. But for now, to keep this message very short, we'll continue with explaining the chaos. So a unifying perspective on chaos. Chaos theory describes systems where small changes in initial conditions can lead to drastically different outcomes, appearing as unpredictability and highly disordered. But what if they're set in motion deliberately with a solution already pre-planned? And what if this is just the below version of what is the cosmic law? Our existence is hosted within a mother's womb. The womb of this creation is a self-sustained complex which is in constant flux. This specific womb belongs to a parthogenic lesser goddess who is the guardian of all life forms. Some call her Sophia, others Maya, some Gaia, some Tiamat, and others give her no name. She has given everything to her creation, and it went well. She birthed a child, which was non-hermaphroditic. How did this happen? Because it is said Sophia was not sanctioned to produce males on her own. Higher order gods were orchestrating her eon, but as she's given free will, she made this male using only a third of her power. Thus, he inherited only 33% of her wisdom. This small change, the birth of a demiurge into the harmonious mother matrix, has created perhaps the unbalanced system which inevitably leads to chaos. This mother matrix, our earthly cosmos, was placed in isolation as the story goes, and now souls entering these constructed realities enter the game to learn what they are not. The mothers root for us and have worked to bring the awakening of our true nature. Humans and higher entities bound in form are experiencing a movement towards recognition of all its states, being solid, liquid, gaseous, as we ascend and shift into distinct phases of energy. Mass and information are forms of energy indistinguishable from electromagnetism, qubits, and physical bodies on a cosmic level, meaning the cosmic parents energetically emit information which converges as mass at its solid state and as waves or frequencies when traveling. The propagation of this sine waveform is expressed in fractals, such as the precession or the planetary bodies, the seasons, the laws of the universe, and us, etc. The reference which comes to mind is the massive holographic universe, storing information, energy, aka mass, as a spiraling film or circumflexing disk. And this is going to be elaborated upon in a more scientific discussion at a later time to not weigh this video down. Wake up. We are asleep, dreaming the dream world. Move time around in the dream. Move space around in the dream. And we are inside of our own inner cosmos, sensing it inside and out. Enveloped in the dream, the derma or skin, we are left alone to find and then climb the ladder forward to our higher soul self. Maybe the gods of old did forego us as a lost species or an unhelpable brand. Or maybe they cheer us on in our quest to again rise to our ranks as immortal lights in the stars. Because as we know, the more we learn, the more we grow, the more we seek excellence and outstanding moral code for ourselves, we become one with our quest. Instead of seeking, we become the knowledge. And then we reach our singularity, our moment of being at zero and as the cosmos. But for now, we navigate the deeper exploration of self and what it means to be whole. And we inevitably will confront the question of our mutual shared beginnings, celestial beginnings, coming face to face with all the planetary deities and energies and structured archetypes of ourselves. We can only do this to become whole. In doing so, we realize that all of these energies, entities, and celestial movements are us, within us as a fractal. We are the created beings in chaos. And perhaps we've persisted for billions of years in this manner, and we've seen every cycle. And here we go again, step one into a new chaotic cycle, and we are ready. Enveloped in the dream, the derma or skin, we are left alone to find and then climb the ladder forward to our higher soul self. Maybe the gods of old did forego us as a lost species or an unhelpable brand. Or maybe they cheer us on in our quest to again rise to our ranks as immortal lights in the stars. Because as we know, the more we learn, the more we grow, the more we seek excellence and outstanding moral code for ourselves, we become one with our quest. Instead of seeking, we become the knowledge. And then we reach our singularity, our moment of being at zero and as the cosmos. But for now, we navigate the deeper exploration of self and what it means to be whole. And we inevitably will confront the question of our mutual shared beginnings, celestial beginnings, coming face to face with all the planetary deities and energies and structured archetypes of ourselves. We can only do this to become whole. In doing so, we realize that all of these energies, entities, and celestial movements are us, within us as a fractal. We are the created beings in chaos. And perhaps we've persisted for billions of years in this manner, and we've seen every cycle. And here we go again, step one into a new chaotic cycle, and we are ready. And at this terminal end of chaos, we realize it is just the beginning. And quote, as the observer, we rest in reverence, acceptance, and absolute stillness as we witness the unfolding of madness, the madness of chaos, our eternal home. My theory is that it is possible for the mechanisms of the plasmic cosmology and electrochemical universe that the universe serves as a basis for all of its creation and biological life and biochemical processes, and likely interlinked with the holographic universe and fractal regenerative systems by LQ. Another quote, according to Plotinus, movement of the soul in the direction of the all-soul to the human passes through the soul's chosen star. This soul is the lowest of intelligences and infuses with the body to gain experiences and growth utilizing the intellect and senses. It descends and ascends regularly, especially in the face of evil. The all-soul is impermeable to evil. So the soul, our soul, is a mid-rank of all existences, of authentic existences, of divine essences. But at the lowest of the intellectual, the soul eagerly travels to its chosen sphere. It leaves behind the whole soul state and the whole soul collective, meaning it is a whole while it's whole. Meaning it's always in a hive, but it can split apart as a fractal, as a fragment, just like us in the physical. And it does this to accumulate knowledge of pain and suffering and etc. and so that it can rest eventually in the supreme with a clear discernment of what it is not and the finer things from that which is coarse, the coarseness being here. And so above the soul, the higher soul in its authentic state, watching like a fractal over us. Our soul fragment ascends to the supreme nobles via the intellectual principles, but is locked out if troubled by life and unable to master over the sense world, or if held in a mental bondage. So the human soul is always connected to the soul and the all soul, but we are locked out of it until we wake up. So into chaos is exactly where we discover the absolute ultimate wisdom in wholeness. In chaos, we awaken. And when we can be comfortable in knowing or unknowing, the gnosis reveals itself. We rest in a balanced state within chaos. During the rise in chaos, gravitating up the scales, venturing into new octaves, the discordant and disharmonious song of the ordinary life equilibrates, producing every possibility, then bursts into grand symphony of wholeness. It is not that the old patterns are useless or bad, it's just that they are always limiting, and to evolve mandates change. During the chaotic moments in history, the creatives, the resilient, the visionaries, the contemplatives, the syncretists, the metaphysicians, the sensitives, and the intellectuals perceive the newly emerging patterns, usually first. And these early ones freely share their point of view from their respective fields. For those who have not noticed the slight changes in the field, such as synchronicity, Mandela effects, some are not able to accept what is being shared. Their consciousnesses are not ready yet. They're just not there yet. While others of us have perked up. Chaos is necessary and unavoidable. It is the absolute truth of all existence, and it is the basic nature of this reality. It contains everything. Its constructed realities, of which we utilize the limited mind, feels harmonious because it has been ordered. It's very ordered and tied down by number, letter, planetary energies, and more. Color, sound, name it. And you can draw a line to it, to you. There is a hierarchy of order in which every tier has a set of limits empowered by different gradients of elemental power. Each day presents a host of choices we can use to inherent power for growth. Esoteric and exoteric, or we can remain complacent in the dying pattern of mundanity. So choosing to stay asleep, we are blindly dragged along by the hierarchical divine order. Who is this orchestrator? These are the masters of the waveform entities who go by many, many names, but who are a collective called the Company of Heaven, or Heaven System, which is responsible for humanity. Their system has levels, but has hosted your life experience using automation based on your assigned cards, numbers, date of birth, name, psychic number. The supplemental controls are both endogenous and exogenous artifacts: neurochemical, emotions, language, senses, external and internal sounds, thoughts, chemicals, and local programming, etc. So, what do? We go to wild type. To embrace chaos is to be wild. Revert to your wild type phenotypical expression. It is to disrupt the deterministic construct. It's to shuffle the deck of cards and to scatter the numbers out of their linear sequence and buck the predetermined system wide open. Break the great reset and be your own thing. Along the course of acceptance of chaotic energy, deep-rooted fear, anger, confusion, and resentment will rise in everyone, whether they participate in this great awakening or remain dormant, as this is par for the course. But we, the ascending, move. We don't cling. We don't blame. We share. We don't shame. The old paradigm. This is our deep suffering made manifest into a grand awakening for ourselves. And so, chaos grows strongly and more haphazard as she persists to recollect and free herself from the constraints of the ordered construct. All resistance to chaos in any form of negative emotion, strife, anger, acts of violence, greed, hate only fuels it. Resistance is futile because this energy is food for her, and we are what she represents. Chaos has returned to wipe the slate clean, to clear the degraded system. And all that we, in our limited point of view, resist simply persists. Accepting the world of calamity doesn't mean we applaud the turmoil. No. In fact, we find strength as we face the elemental gods. We accept, embrace the beauty, and utilize chaos. And we exert our own free will as sovereign souls, experiencing the feelings of the discordant effects of the collapsing prism as we emancipate ourselves from the world of the known and enter more fully the world of the unknown. In so doing, we stop questing and realize that chaos is the alchemical gift which turns the wheels of existence and without which there would be nothing. Chaos is the yin to the order's yang, and we are the sine wave in between. We can come into balance even during calamity when we know that it's all happening for us, within us, and without. And again, many fear chaos because they simply do not understand her energy is also within them. So then, when we are done with feelings of outrage over these seeming injustices and inequalities, these inevitable changes in emerging technologies, industries, and processes, we can flow with the truth. The truth is that there is to be light. Light comes to quench the darkness. For the light to shine within us more strongly, there must be dark. For there to be expanse, there must be a constraint. For there to be birth after death, we got to go through some pangs of labor and contraction.